All right, welcome back to video 3. If you are watching this video, you have already completed exercise 4 and exercise 5. We're at the end. I'm trying to finish the rest of this. So, at the end of the trip, Malia had counted 1,254 trucks. How many cars did she see? So if we know the truck number, I'm going to plug that into here. So we would have 1,254 times 3 would equal my number of cars. So just off to the side here, I'm going to do the multiplication. So that tells me that there were 3,762 cars at the end of the trip. As I read back over this question, I do notice that it said complete the ratio table using this comparison. So I do need to make sure that I plug in my answers here. So I'm going to go ahead and do t times 3. 12 times 3 is 36. And then here I'm going to take 1/3 of this, or take this and divide it by 3, which would be 20. So don't forget, especially when we're reading these long context ones, that you answer all parts of the questions. All right, hopefully after seeing 5 of these, you are ready to do exercise 6 on your own. So if you are, go ahead and push pause and complete as much as you can, and then go ahead and search through until I give my answers. If you're not quite ready on your own or you get stuck, feel free to join me back here to watch me as I complete this activity. All right, Kevin is training to run a half marathon. His training program recommends that he runs for 5 minutes and walk for 1 minute. Let R represent the number of minutes running, and let W represent the number of minutes walking. So I'm, again, just getting familiar here. 5 minutes for R, 1 minute for walking. Down here, I see here's where my running is. Here's where my walking. Here's 1. So that means this must be 5. 10, 20, I see a pattern, 5, 10, 20. Oh, but nope, it doesn't go that way, so I'm going to just use my pattern that I see here. What am I doing to 5 to get to 1? 10 to get to 2. Looks like I'm multiplying times 5. Oh, just kidding. Not multiplying because it's getting smaller, so that must mean I am dividing by 5, or I'm doing this number times 5. So I can look at it either way. So if I see 20 here, I could ask myself, what number times 5 equals 20? Or 20 divided by 5 is, and the answer would be the same, 4. Here, it's easiest to do 8 times 5 to get me to 40. And then here, what number times 5 equals 50? Or 50 divided by 5, and that would be 10. Next, I see what is the value of the ratio of the number of minutes walking to the number of minutes running. So when I see value of the ratio, I immediately think fraction in lowest terms. And they want it number of minutes walking to minutes running. So when I know it's lowest term, I'm going to go to the smallest one in my table here because I'm a lazy mathematician. So minutes walking would be 1. Minutes running is 5, so the value would be 1/5, or 1 to 5. So then it says, what equation could you use to calculate minutes spent walking? So I need it to walking equals, because that's what I need to calculate, if you know the minutes spent running. So what am I doing to R to get the minutes walking? Well, I kind of already did that work up here, so I know that I'm doing divide by 5, or I remember this relationship right here also helps me to figure that out. So it's either R divided by 5 or walking equals 1/5 of the amount of running. And again, we know these are the same thing because if I use the example of R equals 10, and I divide it into 5 pieces, how many would be in each piece? My answer, W, would equal 2. Or over here, if I took 1/5 of R, so again, if running equals 10, and I break it into 5 equal pieces, and I need 2 in each piece to get me to 10, and I need one of those for r, again, it would be 2. So we can see how dividing by 5 or taking 1/5 of the group is the same operation, same strategy. All right, that was exercise 6. Moving right along. Okay, at this point it is time. The rest of the packet would be your homework. A couple of things I want to point out is to make sure that you are reading carefully when it says write as many different equations as you can. They want you to find an equation that you would be able to find the amount of shelves, and they want you to write an equation that would show you the number of, how you could find the number of nails if you knew the number of shelves. If you're stuck and not sure, look back, use one of the videos to look at one of your other problems or connect to some of these problems that we've done here to kind of look at the connections of what they said and then how we figured out how to make the equation for each of those. Back here, don't forget to read over your lesson summary. It can often give you some good pointers. And then on this problem set, anytime you see this value of the ratio, you should automatically be thinking of that fraction in lowest terms. On this 3 and 4 and the explaining, I know that's difficult. Just try your best to kind of figure out how you saw it in the table or how it is connected to, can be seen or is connected to the equation. And then don't forget there is a back as well. And again, remember how to find total sugars would be your white and brown sugars together. And then I see value of the ratio again, which is going to immediately hint that I need a fraction in lowest terms. And then writing that equation. Again, lots of examples that we've gone through together that you can reference and try to make connections to. So if you are still in class, you're going to go ahead and put this packet in your homework bin or homework part of your binder, and then you may go to Prodigy Game or to 10marks.com and complete or for the rest of class and practice ratios there. Have a good day.